Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to share my journey with leukemia. Now, this is the first time that I've had the strength to speak publicly about my journey, and I'm extremely grateful to be here. I was 23 years old. My life was filled with joy as I began a new chapter as a married woman. Dennis and I celebrated our wedding on the 14th of February 1987. 3 months later, my world was turned upside down when I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. My health had been deteriorating since our wedding day. I'd been treated for tonsillitis and later had a blood test for glandular fever. We received a phone call from the pathologist on a Sunday, and we were advised I needed to be admitted to hospital. We were given a choice of two hospitals. Dennis was shocked and confused and asked the pathologist where we should go. The pathologist had trained with the haematology team at RPA, so without hesitation, he recommended that we should go there. So off we went. I kept reassuring myself and Dennis that everything would be okay. I'd never heard of the word leukemia. I'd convinced myself that it must be a mistake. Mistakes happen all the time. And I would be back home in no time. Little did I know these words would change the direction of our lives. Upon arrival at RPA emergency, I was greeted with a wheelchair and whisked behind the curtains. Professor Gibson introduced himself. Whilst I don't recall a lot of the conversation, I do remember his caring, compassionate nature and his huge heart. I soon learned that this was a strength with all of the haematology team. I was taken to a room and connected to a machine that removed 2 litres of dead white cells from my bloodstream. I recall being told that I had a 10% chance of survival, and a bone marrow transplant was not an option for me. How dare this disease think it was going to take over my body, my right to live, and fulfil my dreams of building a home, having a family, and living a happy life. Leukemia was not included in my life's goals and dreams. So the battle for my life began. First, fear stepped in as I began to lose my hair by the handfuls. I was constantly unwell and basically just sick of being sick. I grew tired of the temperatures. Dennis became extremely proficient at draping me and removing blankets as I cycled through the chills and the sweats. He remained by my side, and lucky for me, the wedding vows were really fresh in his mind. So Dennis used the time between temperatures and providing me with sick bowls to draw the plans for our future home, the home we still live in today. I couldn't have navigated this journey without the support of the haematology team and along with all of the hospital staff. I spent 5 months at RPA with the occasional trips home that often led to a quick return to hospital due to temperatures. I ended up spending more time in hospital as a married woman than I had at home, which I took great delight in reminding the haematology team when they came around and did their rounds. I want to express my gratitude to the haematology team, what they did for me, and how do I thank them for giving me the gift of my life. A basket of fruit and a bottle of scotch seemed insufficient. So Dennis and I decided to host a bush dance and charity auction to raise funds for leukemia research and patient care. This event marked the beginning of our annual bush dances and other fundraising activities, including a fishing competition at Lake Yukonbean, organised by Dennis and his committee. We have 4 beautiful friends with us tonight who have supported Dennis and I and our many fundraising events over the years. So thank you. We have another fundraiser in a few weeks' time, and we hope to crack the $500,000. To date, we have raised $490,000 for the haematology department. For the haematology department. to 1989, 2 years after my diagnosis, my life was resuming normality following the completion of my maintenance treatment. My focus shifted to becoming a mother. We were informed that there was limited historical data on women who had survived AML. We were advised to cherish my life and enjoy our time together. However, I couldn't imagine life without children, and nearly 5 years after my diagnosis, I began to feel unwell. We visited RPA and they conducted a blood test, and we were blessed with the news that I was going to be a mother. We were all overjoyed because we were thinking that I had relapsed. We were on such a high to the extent that Dennis drove straight through a red light on the way home and nearly killed us all. So Stephanie arrived and our family continued to grow with the addition of Nicole and Christopher. All 3 children are healthy adults embarking on their own life's journey. In 1994, during my pregnancy with Nicole, I was diagnosed with having hepatitis C, which I had contracted from one of over the 100 blood transfusions that I had received. Fortunately, my children and my husband were uninfected. I received a couple of rounds of treatment with the liver doctors at RPA and can proudly say that my body not only kicked out leukemia, but also the hepatitis. I'm filled with deep gratitude for the incredible gift the haematology team have given me, the gift of life. My journey has been filled with challenges and also many blessings and moments of such joy and happiness. But the gift you have given has not only been my life, but the life of my 3 children. And you never know, perhaps grandchildren. I am forever grateful to be able to experience life. Now, whilst my experience with leukemia was over 30 years ago, the struggle the doctors and staff face appears to remain the same, and that is funding. They rely heavily on events like tonight's fundraiser to access the latest equipment for research and patient care. Janice and I have witnessed significant advancements in patient care. A close friend of ours recently underwent a bone marrow transplant at Royal Prince Alfred. The way she was treated and cared for, both during and after the treatment, highlighted the progress in patient care. These advances are only possible due to funding, dedicated staff, and ongoing research. You can make a difference to someone's future. Thank you in advance for supporting tonight and for allowing me to share my journey. And I would like to invite my husband Dennis and my son Christopher to come forward. And they would like to present the Sydney Blood Cancer Research with a donation of $20,000, which was raised from the annual calf trout fishing competition. Woo!